Hey, welcome back to Chip Stock Investor. Today we are talking about some big news from last week. Warren Buffett acquired some Taiwan Semiconductor stock. So this is big news for us as well here at Chip Stock Investor because we own some Berkshire Hathaway. So
Indeed, we do.
Now we own some more Taiwan Semiconductor. So Nick, why is this such a big deal for the semiconductor industry and for Chip Stock investors in general?
Right. Well, I think it's interesting because Warren Buffett historically has an aversion to tech stocks. He likes simple businesses. He likes large but simple businesses that have a dominant role in the economy. So Taiwan Semi fits that bill, but it's certainly not an easy to understand business. Semiconductors are incredibly complex to manufacture, mind-bogglingly complex to manufacture, and it's a never-ending process of constant updates and investment to improve the process. So it's interesting that he invested in this stock, and not a small sum, over $4 billion. So it's noteworthy. But I think you're going to put that in context for us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's share a visual here. Okay, so you can see from this slide that it's not Taiwan Semiconductor that's going to dominate Berkshire Hathaway holding. It's really Apple at 42%. So if there's one company that's going to move the investments in Berkshire Hathaway's holdings, it's Apple. And then you can see from the chart here, there's a few other companies that have a sizable percentage of holding: Bank of America, Chevron, Coca-Cola. But in the left corner there, you see TSMC at 1.4%. So still a pretty small holding, even though $4.4 billion is a lot of money to us. For Warren Buffett, not so much of a huge stake here, 1.4%.
All right. Nice job on that visual.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that's helpful. Apple's the big mover and shaker here. Mm-hmm. Taiwan Semi, I guess the takeaway here, it sounds exciting when you read the news about it, but don't pile into it. As big as a position as it was, Warren Buffett didn't pile into Taiwan Semiconductor either. And for good reason. It's a complicated business. They do have some headwinds coming up here in the next year, as we've talked about in other videos. We'll put a link to that video as well as a link to that picture in the comments below.
So Nick, is this the first semiconductor stock that Berkshire Hathaway has purchased?
Good question. You could argue absolutely not. So again, looking at your visualization that you shared, Apple at 42% of the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio is a ginormous semiconductor stock. So we think of Apple as being what, like the iPhone, the iPad,
right,
the watch, the Mac. But for a long time now, actually, Apple has used a company called ARM Holding that licenses semiconductor designs. Apple has taken those designs and customized its own chips for use in the iPhone. And I think this really kind of made headlines a couple of years ago when they announced the M1 chip.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, now the M2 chip for the Mac. It's basically a supersized iPhone chip for the Mac lineup. Apple designs those, and they have their sights on designing more chips. So we don't think of Apple as a semiconductor stock, but the company is very much a chip company, and not just a user of chips to build their products. Like, they actually design a lot of stuff in-house. So Warren Buffett's he's been a chip stock investor all along.
Yeah, he's a forward thinker.
That'll do it for this quick update. Hope you found that helpful. Hope you don't have any FOMO going on with Taiwan Semiconductor stock after we broke that down. We've got more coming up for you later this week, some more chip stock updates, and we will do some quarterly updates on Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett as well, since he is a chip stock investor. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell below. We appreciate the support. We'll see you all again soon.